So today is gonna be the first day that I try casting. We're in my empty studio. I get all of my things on Monday, so I'll have all of my tools back, my jeweler's bench and everything. But while I'm waiting for all my equipment, I wanted to go ahead and start practicing casting while I have this downtime. As most of you guys know, my name is Adriana and I have been running my jewelry business, Material Made, for about 2 years now. And all of my pieces are carved in wax, and I used to send everything to a casting house. I finally got everything that I needed to cast here in my home studio. I want to document the entire thing. I've been watching a lot of YouTube videos, Googling, found some people on Instagram, and I still don't feel like I completely know what I'm doing. But the best way to learn anything is to just do it and be bad at it for a little while and then, you know, learn as you go. I feel like I'm starting this a little late in the day. I might just end up spruing this and then tomorrow doing like the actual investment and casting part. I'm gonna cast 2 pieces today in sterling silver and we're gonna see how it goes. So if it goes well, then great. And if it doesn't, then hopefully you will learn from my mistakes and I will also learn from my own mistakes. If you're interested in casting and you are looking for someone to tell you exactly what to do, I'm probably not your girl. I'm learning. We're gonna learn together. Also, if you cast in your studio, or if you are a caster and you see anything that I'm doing wrong, please tell me in the comments. I'm super open to your guys' suggestions. We're gonna sprue up this base real quick with the 2 pieces that I made. I would like to do the whole thing today, but I know the burnout can take anywhere from 8 hours. I think my flask is small enough. I think I could do it within 8 hours from what I've researched, which would make me get done at like 11 o'clock. So I probably should do this tomorrow and just sprue up the base, and that way tomorrow all I have to worry about is mixing the investment and letting it set, and then, you know, maybe wake up a little bit earlier today. So I'll probably be wearing something different here in a little bit. Let's just get right into it. So I don't have my jeweler's bench yet, and I got this desk from Harbor Freight. It was $200, which is really nice. If you want a good budget desk, I think this would work as a jeweler's bench if you had a shorter chair. I'm using right now my bar stools from my kitchen. I think most of you guys know that we just moved into this house. We just moved from England, so I have an empty house. It's been empty for a few months now. So I got these bar stools at Walmart and they are the exact same height as this table. So my knees are literally at the top of the table. So it's gonna look a little bit goofy, but I'm gonna show you how I sprue this up. But first I wanna show you the sprue wax that I got. So, it fell on the floor, hang on. Okay, so I got 2 different sprue waxes from Rio Grande. This red thick sprue wax is gonna be for the main, I think they call this the trunk of the tree. And then this is called the bridge. I don't know the terminology. I'm gonna connect this to this, okay? So let's see how this goes. I'm gonna use my electric RB pen. I think I talked about this in one of my previous videos of how I didn't like it. And I realized the entire time that I just didn't install it correctly. So I'm gonna melt this wax in here. Actually, I think you're supposed to just stick it in there. I'm just gonna fill this with melted wax. This red wax is really soft. It's a lot like the texture of those blue wax ropes, not the one that's sitting right next to me, but the one that comes in the package that I was talking about in my wax carving video. It is really, really, really soft. Just wanna make sure everything is nice and smooth so the metal can run in smoothly. So I got this little sprue on there. Be really quick about it and really hold it on there for a long time. Don't just think it's gonna stick the first time. Okay, so everything that I've read has said to put the larger ones closer to the base and the smaller ones closer to the top so that it's easier for the metal to fill. So I'm going to do just that. I did also read that you want to go at least 1/8 of an inch from the base of the sprue. I don't know why. And I also have read that you want to go at a bit of an angle when putting this on. It feels pretty sturdy. I'm just gonna go around the base real quick and make sure everything is nice and smooth. All right, so that ring is on. Now let's do the Wraith necklace. All right, so this is pretty ugly, but I've got my base all sprued up with the Rafe necklace and this new ring that I just carved out. It's gonna have a green peridot in it. I know it's not easy to see exactly how this is gonna look. I am just going to clean up this sprue just a little bit more and then I will start the investment. And I think I might start the investment tomorrow actually because it is already almost 5 o'clock. So that means I would be in here until about 10. So I think I'm gonna do it tomorrow and this took way longer than I thought. I just realized a place where I messed up and that is that I didn't weigh the base or the wax. So I should have weighed the wax so that I could have known how much metal to put in there, but I didn't do that. So, okay, so it is day 2 of casting and I mentioned to you guys yesterday before I left that I forgot to weigh my wax. So that's the first thing I'm gonna do today. So I can just chop off this base right here. You only need to weigh what's sticking out on top. So I'm gonna chop this off and weigh it and write it down. I'm gonna use this smaller scale because the wax is so light that it's not being registered on the larger one. I got that it's 2.13 grams and then I just let the larger one weigh the base. And I'm gonna write that down so that I can calculate how much silver to melt later. Alright, so I got my sprue reattached and I tried to keep everything nice and smooth. One of the things that I read was it's really important to make sure that no hard angles whenever you're attaching your piece to your main sprue because you don't want anything to obstruct the flow. You want it to all be a really smooth, easy flow. I'm hoping that these little branches aren't too long. I don't think that they are based on the photos and videos that I've seen, but I tried to keep everything really nice and soft, all the edges really nice and soft. I can't wait to have my table where I don't have to like be on the floor to like talk to you guys. Now I'm gonna go test out the vacuum table and make sure that it actually works so that I can start mixing up the investment and pouring the investment over this little flask. Once I pour the investment over the flask, we're gonna let it sit for 2 hours and then we're gonna come back and turn on kiln and schedule the burnout, which I'm also really nervous about because I know the temperatures it's supposed to get to, but I don't know how long you're supposed to like have it get to that temperature. I think I can figure it out based on what I found online. I just need to kind of like read between the lines a bit. Okay, let's go test out the vacuum table.
To reach 29 in less than a minute, so 33 right now.
I think I just figured out what I'm doing wrong. You guys, I was using the long part as the pointer. Oh my god. Watch. That's an arrow. This is an arrow down here. Oh my god, I feel so stupid right now. Okay, you guys, maybe you shouldn't be following instructions from me. What is happening? Oh, it does work. Okay, I see. Okay, it is working.
Alright, so it pulls it back.
Yeah.
That's done.
So release vacuum and then off. So now that I know that the investment table works, I need to wrap my flask in masking tape because obviously the investment would just pour through all these holes. So I'm gonna wrap it in tape and bring it up a little bit higher so whenever I vacuum the flask and the investment starts to bubble, it doesn't spill over the top. So I'm gonna do that now and then we will mix up the investment. So for the wax inside the flask, I don't know if you can see in there, I know it's a little bit dark. Everything that I watched said that you have to leave at least 1/4 of an inch away from the sides of the flask. And I think that's so that the metal doesn't break through the side of the investment when you pour it, because if it's too close, the metal's super hot, the investment's really thin, and then it'll break through. So I've got my tape built up, probably taller than I need to, but whenever you pour your investment in here and you vacuum it, it's gonna bubble and rise and you don't want it to spill over. So that's why you tape it up. And then once it sets after 2 hours, you can take the tape off and it won't spill out because it's hardened. And then you can take your rubber base off as well before you put it in the kiln. So let's go mix up the investment and then we will vacuum out all the bubbles. So the investment powder that I got is called Prestige Oro. I don't know if it's the right one, but on Amazon it said that it was for gold and silver, so if it doesn't work out, try something else. So I'm gonna wear a respirator while using this stuff because this stuff causes cancer. It has silica in it and it's really bad for your lungs. So when you're dealing with in a powder form, you're supposed to wear a respirator. So I'm gonna put that on and then we're gonna measure out our investment. Okay, so now that I have my respirator on, I hope you guys can hear me, but I need 32 ounces of investment, which honestly seems like so much because this flask is so small, but I feel like I'm gonna waste a bunch of investment. Fine though, I'm gonna follow the rules. I'm gonna set my into ounces, see how much the cup weighs. The cup weighs 2.2 ounces, so I need 30 ounces of investment. All right, so there's a hole in my bag. This is not good. I did buy this to put my investment in so it stays sealed up. So we're at 30 ounces of investment, and then I'm gonna take it into the basement and pour the water in, mix it, and then pour it into the flask. This has to be done quickly once you add the water because it will set in about 8 to 11 minutes. So this is the part that makes me nervous, but anyway, let's go get the water and then we will mix it together. I need 344 milliliters of water. So I'm gonna pour that in here now, because you always add the investment to the water. So 344 milliliters. I'll try and link the websites where I found this information so that you guys can go look for yourselves too. So 344 milliliters. According to my instructions that I made for myself, I'm gonna mix it for 3 minutes and then I'm gonna vacuum it. I'm gonna vacuum it for 2 minutes while it boils up. It will boil up, then you need to vacuum for at least 20 seconds after that. 2 minutes total is best. I'm gonna mix it for 3 minutes. You're gonna vacuum it. Don't know if you guys can see this. Okay, make sure you can see. I'm gonna vacuum it for 2 minutes total, it says. 1. And then investment table for 2 minutes. Gonna have a look. Oh, please don't spill! Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Okay, hang on. Okay, so I'm gonna pour this over the flask. Paper towel, please. This spilled, I'm so sorry. So you just wanna make sure that you don't pour it directly on the wax or you'll knock your pieces over. So you wanna pour it off to the side and just let it fill. Thank you.
That's all you need? Here.
Yeah, thank you so much. It spilled just a little bit.
Just a roll.
Thank you. So put it back on the table. The bell jar on. Whew, you guys, this is scary stuff. It's leaking. Oh my god. Okay, we're at 6 minutes. Hoping that this just sets. Okay, on investment table. And you want to vacuum for 1.5 minutes. Try and tape the bottom back up a little bit to save some of this investment from spilling out. Jesus, that was so nerve-wracking. Okay, so noted. Next time, put the tape way further down the flask to create a better seal. Everything is fine though. I think it's all gonna work out. Even though a bunch of that investment leaked out, I was able to top it off and it's full enough. Hopefully everything is fine. Everything got vacuumed as long as it was supposed to, and now we just have to wait for it to set and then we can burn it out. So yeah, that was fun. I'll see you in 2 hours. The wax stayed inside the base right here, so I'll never have to refill it. so this is the part that we're not super sure about. So 50 degrees ambient temperature for the first step, 15 minutes. The second one, 300 degrees, and we want to take an hour to get to the first 300, and then we're gonna put the flask in. And then 300 degrees, we want to hold it for 60 minutes. And then we want to get to 700 degrees, but we want it to take an hour to get there. And then we want to hold for an hour at 700 degrees, so there's the hour. And then we want to get to 1350, but we want it to take 2 hours to get there. And then we want to hold at 1350 for 1 hour. And then we want to get to 1000 degrees, and that's casting temperature. And we want it to take 30 minutes to get to 1000 degrees. And then we want to hold at 1000 degrees for 1 hour, and then you can cast after that. And then to end the program at 1000 degrees, you have to put in the time code of -121. So hopefully this works. We're not super sure, but we're gonna go for it. And in an hour, I will put the flask in. Okay, so the weight of my wax was 2.137 grams. I'm using this calculator. I hope it works, but I'll link it below if it does. But you can put in how much your wax weighs and then what metal you're casting, and it tells you how much silver you need. It says I need 22.37 grams of silver. So that's what I'm about to weigh out on my little scale. So it's warm, but it's not too hot to touch. I'm trying not to touch the metal pieces, but these are really strong, holy shit. All right. So it's almost at 1000 degrees in the kiln, so I'm about to start up the furnace. It's been there for about 20 minutes now. I'm gonna start the melting furnace, and everything that I've seen says that this furnace takes about 35 to 45 minutes to heat up, so I'm gonna go ahead and turn it on. Yeah, I think things are gonna move quickly from here. So one of the videos that I watched said you're supposed to let this heat up for about 10 minutes before you pour your silver in. I'm really worried about overloading this power strip. So we're gonna do 110 degrees Celsius. So I have the furnace set now to 110 degrees Celsius, and that's supposed to take about 30 minutes to get to temperature. So the breaker literally just tripped and all of this turned off. So everything turned off. I turned off the lights and I turned off the fan to lighten the load down here. So everything's heating back up. It was only out for maybe 3 minutes. So everything is getting hot again. Furnace is going back up. The kiln is also getting back to casting temperature. It was fucking terrifying, you guys. So I will turn the lights on when I start to cast, but I will not turn the fan back on in this end process. So yeah, that just happened. Just went out. Yeah, I don't know how that went. I'm gonna go ahead and quench it. Okay, holy shit. I think that might have worked. I don't know yet. Okay, do I just leave this in here? Okay, hang on. I'm kind of freaking out for a second, I really thought for sure that there's no way that that worked. Now, I actually see, you guys. Oh my god, I see a necklace and I see a ring. How did this work? When I poured the silver, it looked like it was solid almost. Okay, I'm gonna try and break this apart and let's see what it looks like. So I got most of the investment off of these rings and off of the necklace. Everything looks great to my eye right now. Tomorrow I'll have my pickle pot and I can pickle these and make them white and set the gemstones. So as you guys can probably imagine, I'm exhausted. It is 10:50, almost 1 a.m. and I'm so glad I'm gonna get to sleep well tonight after all of this time put in today. It worked. So I'm gonna try and figure out my tabletop kiln, get it to come back down to temperature, take a shower, and then go to bed. Because tomorrow is also a big day. All of our things from England are gonna arrive tomorrow. So the bed, the jeweler's bench, the pickle pot, so much stuff. And yeah, I'm so glad that this went so well for my first time. I didn't expect this to happen with how that pour went, so I'm so happy. If anyone knows how I can get my breaker not to flip, how to not overload my breaker, please tell me, because that could have ruined the whole process. And I also don't want to damage my tools by like the breaker flipping all the time. So if you have any advice to give, I will gladly take it. I hope you learned something from this. I will try and put in as much info in the description as I can. And yeah, follow for more casting videos because this is not gonna be the last one. Thank you for always being here and being so supportive and teaching me kindly. And yeah, I'm happy. I'm gonna sleep well tonight. Bye guys.